It was next morning, a humid, hot Sunday morning. Roxy woke slowly, the telephone beside her bed ringing in her ears. Is this a dream? She thought. Her bed sheets were soaked with sweat. The long T-shirt which she had been sleeping in clung to her back.
Oh, I must have been having a nightmare. Hello?
Roxy, it's me, Shauna.
Oh, Shauna? What time is it?
Well, almost 9. Did I wake you?
Yeah. Oh, yuck. It's so hot in here. Ugh.
Roxy shivered in spite of the heat. Suddenly, the thought of last night burst back into her mind. She saw herself trying to reach the car, getting in, and then racing away from the darkened house without daring to look back. Safely home, Roxy had paced up and down in her room for what seemed like hours, worrying. Should she call the police? Was the girl in Lee's house in serious trouble? Several times she had placed her hand on the telephone, picked it up, and started to dial, then stopped. How could she explain to the police what she was doing in the house? How could she explain how she had overheard the argument? In the end, Roxy had convinced herself that it had all been just a quarrel. Nothing serious. No need to call the police. No need to get involved. None of her business. But still, she hadn't been able to get to sleep. What if Lee had seen her? Did he know Roxy was hiding in his house? What could she say if he asked her? She'd just tell him he's crazy, Roxy had decided. She'd tell him she hadn't been anywhere near his house. Lee couldn't prove it. Anyway, he'd probably been blinded by the camera flash. No way he could have seen her, Roxy had told herself. No way, she had mumbled, as she finally fell asleep.
Roxy? Roxy, are you still awake?
What? Oh, yeah, I'm awake.
Oh, I'm sorry, Roxy, but did you hear the awful news?
News?
You didn't hear?
About what?
Ursula.
Oh, no. Not Ursula. Shauna, what happened to Ursula?
She sprained her back.
She what?
Sprained her back, windsurfing. Well, she was kind of showing off, you know, Ursula. Well, she fell off the board and twisted her back. We all had to help and get her home.
And you woke me up to tell me about this tragedy.
Well, yeah, I thought you'd want to know. Ursula is your best friend, after all.
Oh, thanks, Shauna. I'll give her a call and see how she's doing. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye. I've got to get a hold of myself. I've got to calm down and pull myself together. Oh, but I can't. Not until I know what happened to that girl.
Roxy crawled out of bed and changed into a sleeveless T-shirt and denim cutoffs. She ran a brush through her hair and hurried downstairs to the kitchen.
Morning, Roxy.
Morning. Where's Mom?
Oh, church. At least one person in this family has some decent values. Want the comics?
Nah, just the news.
What, the news? Oh, that's a switch.
Roxy's father went back to his paper. He was slender and young-looking, with lively brown eyes and a full head of wavy hair. This morning, to beat the heat, he was sitting in his Hawaiian-style bathing suit, without a shirt. Roxy walked over to the coffee maker on the kitchen counter and poured herself a cup of coffee.
God, it's hot out already. No sun.
You're drinking coffee?
Yeah,
Since when do you like coffee?
I like it sometimes.
Oh, please, Roxy, I need a little peace and quiet this morning.
Oh, Dad.
No, look, I have 2 court cases to prepare for tomorrow.
I just want the news.
The news? You? Have you been possessed or something?
You are not funny, Dad.
Oh, well, excuse me.
Forensic experts to Hunter's Dunes, where the body of a teenage girl has reportedly been found.
What?
Well, hey! What's the matter, Roxy?
Shh, I'm listening.
Roxy, you're staying in a pool of coffee. Roxy?
Roxy stood there, her heart pounding so fast she couldn't hear the news report. The coffee mug lay at her feet.
Lee murdered her. He murdered her and dropped her body in the dunes. He murdered her and I was there. Oh, now what? What do I do?
Sorry, I cannot stand that right now. Roxy, are you going to mop up the coffee, or are you going to wade in it all morning?
Oh, sorry, Dad.
Roxy had a strong impulse to tell her father everything. The whole story, from the stupid bet she'd made with Ursula, to breaking into Lee's house, to the angry fight she'd overheard in the living room. Her father was a lawyer, after all. He would have the right advice for her. He could tell her whether she should go to the Rocky Shores police or not.
Of course I should go to the police. Lee Bloom is a murderer. I have to tell the police, but what if I confess breaking into the house? What would they do to me? And what about Lee? What if he saw me? He would know I'm a witness. He would come after me. And who will protect me from him? I'd better just shut up, not tell anybody. No, I can't do that. I can't keep it all inside. I've got to tell somebody. Dad? I want to tell...
That's better. Well, I'm gonna go for a jog before I start working on my cases for tomorrow. Along the Dune Road. Want to join me?
No, thanks. See you later.
Okay, see ya.
Roxy stood alone in the kitchen. Her stomach gnawed at her, but she knew she couldn't eat any breakfast. She had to talk to someone. She headed up to her room to put on her sneakers.
I have to talk to Ursula. I just have to. Oh, wait, my camera. It went off when I went by the living room. I must have a picture of them. I might even have a picture of the murder. I'll take in the film. Oh, there's a 1-hour developing store in town. Oh, but is it open on Sunday? I've got to try.
Roxy sped off to town, the roll of film placed carefully on the passenger seat. She passed the white clapboard church where her mother was attending morning service, turned into Main Street, which was crowded with Sunday morning tourists, and pulled the car into the parking lot beside the tiny red brick post office. Then, dodging through the crowds window shopping on the narrow sidewalk, Roxy made her way towards the film store.
Please be open. Please.
Hey, Roxy!
Oh.
Roxy!
Hi, Terry.
What's up?
Oh, just, doing some errands.
Where were you last night? I called you. Pretty late.
Oh, nowhere really. Just, out with my parents, visiting some people. What were you doing?
Ray Metzger and I just hung out.
Great, that must have been fun.
Roxy didn't like Ray Metzger. She couldn't understand why Terry was always hanging around Ray's house. She turned away from Terry in the direction of the film store.
You okay, Rox? You look kind of tense.
I'm fine. It's just, I gotta run, okay?
Can I call you later?
Yeah, later.
Roxy heaved a sigh of relief when she found the film store open. She dropped off her film there and was told to come back for it in an hour. She was too keyed up to eat and too tired to window shop, so she slumped down on the bench opposite the post office. Roxy looked up at the sky darkening with clouds. Then her eye caught the payphone booth across the street. In a few seconds, she was dialing Ursula's home.
Hello, this is the Nordquist residence.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Nordquist. Is Ursula there?
I am so sorry. No, you must call back later. Dr. Green gave her pills, relaxing pills for the back. She hurt her back, you know, and she is now so sleepy, not making any sense at all.
You mean
I mean, she's like in slow motion. We'd better let her sleep. You can call her tomorrow, maybe?
Sure. Bye.
Roxy waited alone for the hour to pass, trying to keep the thoughts of Lee and the night before from her mind. Back at the store, it seemed to take minutes for the saleswoman to find the envelope marked Nelson. Roxy paid for it and rushed outside. Trembling, she leaned against the building, tearing the envelope open and pulling out the inner packet.
No. Oh, no, not this one. Oh, what is this? Oh, my barbecue party. Okay, Sean and me at Blade Runners. Yes, here it is. Lee's room. Oh, very dark. And another. There's the bookshelves, the model boat on the dresser. Oh, it's all so dark. Where's the last shot? The living room. This must be it. What is it? Oh, terrific. Just what I wanted. A photograph of the ceiling light in the living room. Great shot, Roxy.
Roxy shoved the photos back in the envelope and headed to her car. She threw the packet in the glove compartment and slammed it shut.
Now what? Oh, what on earth am I going to do? I don't want to go home. I don't want to think about this whole thing anymore. But I have to.
Without realizing it, Roxy headed the car out onto the Dune Road. The storm clouds had broken now, and a light rain had started to fall. Roxy opened her window, let the cool raindrops fall onto her face. She drove past the rocky dunes that jutted out into the bay, where the waves, black and purple in the eerie stormlight, pounded steadily against the shore. As the sky grew darker, she turned on the car's headlights as she followed the narrow road down towards the area known as Hunter's Dunes. Then she saw them. A group of people caught in her headlights. A huddle of dark uniformed police officers, paramedics in white lab coats, and some spectators sheltering under black umbrellas. It was a somber and frightening group, outlined by the flashing red light of the police cruisers up ahead. Roxy pushed open her car door and stepped out. She moved forward, as if in a dream, as if the flashing lights were pulling her towards the grassy dune. She didn't notice the rain that fell steadily on her shoulders, drenching her face. Roxy joined the crowd of spectators, saw their grim, tight-lipped faces. Then her eyes fell on the dark form stretched out on the rain-soaked grass. A black plastic bag, like a garbage bag.
No, it's a body bag. The girl's body bag.
He's been here.
A couple of hours. The rain is slowing down their work.
The rain trickled off the shiny surface of the plastic bag and made a puddle around it. Roxy felt sick. She clapped her hand over her mouth and shut her eyes, then opened them.
This isn't the girl. It isn't. I know it.
She tried to push past the spectators to get a closer look, but somebody held her back.
You can't go any closer, miss. Stay away.
Excuse me.
Stepping past the spectator, Roxy moved forward through the tall, wet grass.
Why did I automatically think the murdered girl was the same girl as in Lee's house? No, this could be any girl. Just because Lee was having a fight with a girl, it doesn't mean he killed her.
She moved up close to the uniformed police officers huddled over the body in the bag. Through the falling rain, in the flashing red light from the police cars, Roxy tried to see the dead girl. Tried, in the darkness, to make out her face. Then the body started to move.
What's the matter, dear? Did you know the dead girl? Did you?
The body? It moved?
No. The police are just taking it. Are you okay, dear?
Yes, I guess. Why did I think it moved? And why do I feel so strange? So totally, terribly strange.
As Roxy looked down, one pale arm slid out from the top of the bag. One pale, lifeless arm. And as the men struggled to close the bag up in the pouring rain, the dead girl's head slid out. Roxy saw it. She saw the girl's hair tumble out. Saw the head of blonde ringlets. And she screamed again.